And Al Jazeera's Zein Basravi has this report now from Mashhad.
Here in Mashhad, Iranians have braved a cold and windy day to attend one of the most hotly anticipated events of the calendar year. It was on this day 40 years ago that the beginnings of change, the upheaval that Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini had envisioned for Iran, had taken hold, and towns and cities across the country began to shift into the hands, control of those towns and cities began to shift into the hands of Khomeini's supporters. While the event is to mark a serious historical moment, Victory Day is a public holiday in Iran, and here in Mashhad, the rally is a family affair and has the feeling of a fairground, complete with balloons, live performances, and carnival games you could only find in Iran. Here, as it is in cities across the country, the act of remembering the events of 40 years ago is about more than just an excavation of history. It's an annual opportunity to reinforce and actualize the Islamic ideals and anti-Western sentiment of that time, connecting the past to the present as a way to reinforce the social and political status quo in Iran today. We met one woman who said she loved the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, more than her own husband, who was standing right next to her at the time. Perhaps a testament to the supreme leader's charisma, but more likely an example of how people in this part of the country subscribe wholeheartedly to the idea of an unquestionable supreme Islamic leader overseeing the affairs of the whole country. People here revere Khamenei as a kind of scion of a family of revolutionary elites, often downplaying the significance of Iran's elected political leaders. And if anyone has any doubt about the level of support for the Islamic system of government here in Iran, they need only look 4 decades after revolution at public shows of support like this in Iran's religious heartlands.
Foad Izadi is Professor of International Relations at Tehran University. He says President Rouhani has taken a more militaristic approach to diplomacy as a result of U.S. President Donald Trump's decision to break the nuclear agreement.
I think when he came into office about 6 years ago, his main goal in foreign policy was to improve relations with the West. What Trump did to him has caused him to speak in terms that you heard today, expanding Iran's missile program and threatening the United States back, given the fact that the U.S. has threatened to attack Iran militarily. So I think you see a shift not only in Rouhani, but people around him, people like Zarif, our foreign minister here, and others, and the whole generation of Iranians that thought that maybe reducing tensions with the West was something that could happen during their lifetime. And I don't think they believe that anymore. The Europeans have done little things, not anything serious. The terminology too little, too late, I think, applies to Europe. And Rouhani's administration thought that Europe would actually be able to offset some of the negative effects of US withdrawal from the nuclear agreement. And Europe hasn't done that much. So when we say that the West lost an opportunity to improve relations with Iran, we include Europe in that, and I don't see anything serious coming up in the next few months. So if Europe continues to act the way they do, I don't think you see any improvements there.